I just don't want my tax dollars, especially what's going on now. You see, I don't want my tax dollars going to all these rich oligarchs who are making Jeff Bezos, and we're paying more taxes as individuals than some of these millionaires and billionaires. They just got $1 trillion tax cut.
So can I ask you a question? And I hear you 110% on that, because I don't like that either. What is your thoughts on our taxes going to illegal immigrants?
Well, again, I think here's what I do know, that illegal immigrants, if they work in America, they pay a hefty tax.
No, they don't. They don't. It's wrong.
Well, I'm just saying, look, I'm telling you, I know from personal experience, okay, that the taxes that this person that I know was paying, yeah, they pay a tax. Now, as far as my tax dollars going to help other people, when our schools are not being taken care of, our kids can't get lunch, we don't have health care. The one thing that came out about this World Cup that people are ignoring is that the majority of the people that are in the World Cup that are playing are Black. Okay. And there was a report that came out last week that said all of the people that are in the knockoff round right now, all of the teams, every one of them has universal health care except one. You know who that country is? The United States. Okay. We should have universal health care. We talked about that country that we're paying $8 billion a year. They got universal health care. They got free college. They got all of those things. So what I'm saying to you, and that's why I'm for some of these quote unquote democratic socialists, because they are really, when you say America first, that means that you take care of home first. I take care of my house first, and then my charity goes out to what I have left over, if I have anything left over. We've got to start taking care of our own people. And right now, the government has done a great job in pitting us against one another. And they're laughing all the way to the bank. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Facebook, all of these guys who are making billions and billions of dollars. Now we got these data centers. Okay, you can come up with money for data centers, but you can't come up with money for schools. Just in Arkansas is where I grew up. They just gave $300 million to private schools. Yet, oh, by the way, they also gave $100 million, bought $100 million in bonds for that state in the other country that's killing kids. One other quick point I want to make. Y'all remember back in the day when they used to have the lynchings and the white people would come out and bring the picnics and the kids, and they would take pictures, and these postcards would be sold all over the country and so on and so forth. Guess what's going on right outside of Palestine? Those kids are now going and camping on top of a hill, bringing lunches and watching the Palestinians get bombed. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So then they started getting chastised about that. So now that particular government now has video screens that they set up in various parts of that state where their people can watch the Palestinians get bombed and killed. There have been 70,000 Palestinians killed since that thing began. Nobody's talking about that. See, so what we ought to be thinking about is actually what our government is doing, because our government is really the problem. And we can't change it, but we can certainly get people. I'm glad to hear you said you were independent. So am I. I've been an independent for almost 40 years.
Well, I'm a conservative independent. I'm an independent in Indiana, because
I'm an independent, period.
Yeah, I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative, but here in Indiana, I don't know. I don't like the Democrats or how the Republicans operate here.
Well, the left wing and right wing is part of the same bird.
Yeah, they're a little. I don't like that.
Did you hear what Carville said the other day?
Yep.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Because those Democratic socialists was winning in New York, and many of them are saying America first.
They're not.
I'm just saying many people are. I'm going by what Carville said.
No. They don't do that. They ain't say America first. Don't say that. That's not true.
Well, what Carville said is that he doesn't want to be a part of a party that will not support that state. Now wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Cargi. Now wait, is this the same
people.
guy?
The Crip Keeper.
Yeah.
He needs to shut up talking.
But
I
you have
heard
a
him
lot
say
of
some very
Democrats who are
nasty
saying the
stuff.
same thing. Is that we don't want to be part of the Democratic Party anymore if we don't support that state. I've been telling people for decades now is that the people have got to take back their power. The people have allowed social media, the news media, what I used to call the tell lies vision, control us. Yeah, I beg people to go and read, go do some research. And when you start doing research, you begin to understand that a lot of the stuff that you've been told is nothing but lies. We got to start paying attention to that. And that old saying, each one, teach one, we've got to literally take that to heart and start dropping knowledge on everybody that we meet. Because right now, this country is ran by oligarchs. You know, that's what's going on. When you think you have power as an individual, you don't have no power. They're making all the money. And your kids are starving, your neighborhoods are running the pot, all of that stuff. And they're saying, oh, well, that's socialism. Well, wait a minute. When you got a 34 count convicted felon in the White House, when you got someone who is hiding the Epstein files, who don't want anyone to know what actually happened.
Whoa. Right? One second. So what we not gonna do is talk about we got a felon in the White House, because we literally just dealt with 4 years of a man who literally takes showers with his daughter, and nobody said anything. That man in the White House, in my opinion, needed to get in the White House. He needed to.
Why do you say that?
He needed to. Well, let's see. Our borders were wide open and military-aged men were coming through our borders. We lost over 300,000 children that were being trafficked at the border. They met some children who had name tags and addresses that were on their shirts, sending them to places, to people that they have no idea where they're going to. Also, I wasn't a fan of forcing our children to get mutilated and get sex changes. I wasn't a fan of our children being forced to take puberty blockers. Nor was I a fan of us having a commander-in-chief who could barely stand and ride a bicycle without falling over.
But don't you have that now?
I definitely was not a fan. Hold on. I definitely was not a fan, and still the hell am not, of illegal aliens coming into my country, being able to get housing and assistance and jobs while people were still trying to get their footing because of the country being shut down. I'm definitely not a fan of them coming over here and not having to learn how to even communicate with us. I'm not a fan of what the Democrats have done. So I get it. I know you're independent, but we're not going to sit here and say that the man in office who so-called has felonies is the problem of where we are right now. Everything that's going on in this country is a blowback of what has been going on for a very long time.
Well,
and if it could have been, it could have been, but you insinuate. I don't like I can't stand when people bring up those cases as if him being a felon is making him a bad leader, because that's just kind of what it insinuates. They use that same topic every time. That's that liberal talking point. Oh, well, he has X amount of felonies. He doesn't have them because he was never convicted of any of them. So when you bring that up, it's like you're bringing it up to downplay who he is as a person in office, as a president, as a man who's right now leading our country, all while ignoring that honestly he is the best decision that we had, because if we didn't get him, we would probably have little Muslim towns all across this country, which we're already having now, but that started before he even got in office. Well, if he wouldn't be in office, we would still have a border that's open, where people are able to come in and out.
because at the end of the day, Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about black people.
Don't say that.
He doesn't.
Why do you
Okay.
feel that way,
He
sir?
doesn't. I mean,
why do you feel that way?
Let's look at some prima facie evidence here. I mean, we can go back to the Central Park Five. We can go back to him.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Let me finish.
No. Hold up. Wait a minute. Before you say that, when it comes to the Central Park Five in that article, did he ever mention the Central Park Five?
He didn't have to mention it. He inferred it.
No, he didn't.
Okay.